Um, there's nothing good I'm going to say, so I would appreciate that you keep it for yourself and try to block it because it can be against you. Everything you thought that it is you. So stop to listen and move on to what is that you think is good for you because that's what you think you are. So this is a message to the world itself. And you only have two choices right now. You can follow a dystopian world where the very rich become part of their own as they were, and they will use others as pawns, even those who used to have their own dignity, their own properties, and were custodians of their own. I have my life on stagnation because I'm not a custodian of the creation that I have come here to share accordingly, not for a monopoly or fat pigs to shake their hands and be creating more viruses, more cookies. And now, if you do not disconnect from YouTube and create your own and X and all of these platforms that are from United States of America, just be very clear. They're never going to give rights to you or anyone in the world. You're a pawn, and the people that are now in the administration of United States of America are making a very big mistake against themselves as well, with their delusional ideas to be superior and own a war that's based on harassment, giving hits, kidnapping leaders if they don't follow through, and continue with the wars that have been created by them. They do believe to do the best for the world and to be the best for the world, to be followed. And they do believe that people are ignorant and even, what did I hear? I just try to not have a part of my vocabulary because I am like, that's not true. That is not true. Illiterate. How many talented people I know from South America and Venezuela? As I am. I have created with my friends, but I am the one who has seen it. You can go to any of my role players' friends, and no one has the formula for virtual reality to work. Only I am the custodian of it, and it's stagnated because it has no custody of its own. It's simply being buried. What it used to be role play is not existent. It's just posting like. So make your own platforms or you will belong to United States of America. It doesn't matter what you say in United Nations or in the European community. NATO wants the money from United States of America to feel more powerful and to have more money. The directors of NATO want their money. They don't care about you. So they're going to take Greenland. The director of NATO, by law, cannot do anything against itself. It can only do against outsider threats. So kings of Europe and leaders of Europe can put their troops to protect Greenland or just simply keep talking. But the guy is going to take over, right? So they already have their democracy doesn't exist and words don't exist. You're dealing with the Hitler, delusional. And Elon Musk can follow the same route because he's being seduced as part of their own because they have controlled the media and the law system. So if you get to put all these judge, they are corrupted. So just take them out. Take them out. And by law, the president of Venezuela or any human being has the right to make a phone call and have their lawyer they want. The law doesn't work here internationally. What you need is action and determination. And you are part or not. It doesn't matter if you copy my words, it's not going to help you to make them on your own. You have not paid me, so I pay my people, the influencers of the world. And if you want to follow a dystopian to protect yourself from the people and be lying from the people, as Prince William talking about Meghan Markle, the middle class, or every day, making dozens of videos per week, because he married a middle class, a Middleton, who was fighting with the other middle class. So you make believe you're superior, but you were not born for that. And Charles being suppressed by all these relationships because they have all the relations in the world. So it's very hard to betray one to give support to another. As itself is difficult to be an hypocrite when you want relations with everyone to make the world shine by itself. So you would betray one if you give power to the other and keep with this uncertainty and instability in the world by not doing any actions. You will remain a pound, a middleman, a Middleton, a middle class, a nobody. And I know this because I am one. I have become one after everything was taken away from me. I'm not acting from a spiritual source because I have nothing. I'm not acting out of love or unlimited love. I know what I have done because I have lived through it and I have created eternally with creative people who found a place of creation as me. And the same problems of the past repeat because they are unsolved traumas of the self. So keep shouting and screaming for justice while they take over, and consider yourself to have nothing of your own. Because it's the day of the word custody within the week of the word that's for the third week of the month. Every third week of the month is for that the contour, the container, the symmetry, because it has a cultural facet that's distinguished by its own constitution, how it's formed. For example, we are all people, we all have two legs and the same human conditions to be alive, but we are designed by our culture, by what we eat, how we move through Earth. That's why we might be short if we move up the mountains through many generations. But we're tall because we run for food. I have longer legs. Different reasons for the design of the body. Yeah, you can have a house, but it has different designs according to how much work has been put in there, the materials that are found around it, or by relation. So it's a week of cover. So contour, boundaries. The boundary is what forms you, like your skin in your body. So that was good to hear about the word of the container. So if you're stuck or stagnated, you have a lake that's not a lake anymore because its waters don't flow anywhere. So it's stagnated. You still can have all this noise going on and thinking you have justice because it's in the book. But in reality, they're taking over while you are not taking the world to have recognition of what's happening with the tech titans. So we thought that, or I thought, because it's my idea, to bring in the tech titans from around the world will help bring the technological globe map to see the layers of each entity in the world so people could create. But they don't want people to see the rotation of the money because then people will ask why you have so much money. And they are all live, they're gonna give it when they die. These organizations are there to keep how much money they have, to keep among the highest ranks of having so much. So they're just based on business to acquire and take from you. You are not custodian of yourself within the realms of internet and virtual reality. So what goes in internet is not a virtual life. We're supposed to live our lives. And the moment you take away the shit show that goes in X and all the drama and all this circus from America, you will keep being on an unconscious belief that you are taking control by talking about it. But democracy doesn't exist anymore with the threat. So you have the power to create your own platform for each continent to not be polluted because these people will try to buy those people in your own country. And even if you have delusional ideas to be superior and in control because you have the military, they might take over your people. As they want to take over the world. The world itself cannot do that. Not because it's ignorant, it's because it's happy being itself. So If you don't have enough money, so they scan the books in your library and you allow another person to do it for you, and you are allowing people to take, because you were innocent, you didn't know. I'm not saying you weren't ignorant. You didn't know what they were doing. You thought, oh, well, I will have it scanned for free. They will scan it for me for free. So I don't have to pay it. I don't have to work for it. So until Donald Trump is not taken out of the administration, the problem is that if you have international law and they cannot take him out because they have their own military to protect him, then under what law does the military or the police go to arrest him and take him to jail? What law dictates that he has to go to a New York City to a corrupted judge that belongs to Trump? But maybe the maybe it doesn't even exist. Maduro. It's not about Maduro, it's about you. And the moment America finds out they're nothing, their internet devices are only for themselves, they might be able to take care of their own people. And we will be able to create an international internet force that does not belong to one country. Because when I was talking about TikTok, I was talking about TikTok being owned by leaders of the world, not by America. So now you want to paint China as the enemy and other people like the enemy, and you think to own Venezuela, but Venezuelans are not going to allow you to take over them because they need money. They are designed for that for decades. And Zimbabwe never existed before communism. So all these channels that are talking about communism in South America or Venezuela, and since when even people who have been rejected in all the platforms like Nick Fuentes has the need to feel superior for being American, to have been able to take you know, to bomb a country for no reason. And they could have gone to countries who are worse. No one in Venezuela has the right to go out to manifest against the political party that is in power. So they have rejected to have their spiritual family with as a cacique and with shaman ritual and the Pope. They allow Corina Machado to visit the Pope instead of them moving ahead to ask the Pope. They have not. They still have time, but whatever they do, they're going to say the machines say that everyone voted for the people they want because they own the media. The very Elon Musk has deep hatred towards those who are not white. based on his grandfather, and he loves no one. That's that's his whole journey, to be loved by so many people, to promote himself so much. He thinks people can be programmed. He has many people that live on meth who are hackers and coders and take over people's genius ideas and work and just makes it her own. Think that people can be programmed. There are many people who believe that this life and this creation is a matrix. And at the same time, they won't allow you to be creative and own your own rights. Because they have not surpassed levels of consciousness, uh, dimensions where the works of God were by the intelligence of itself. They really do believe that everyone is going to follow because that's the way they have programmed. And if they don't see you are following, they will bring you down or put you distant because you are supposed to be energy for their fuel to use you. And in the same way, it goes to the kings of Europe, who I felt they have a heart to protect the world from a spiritual realm. Not William, because he's possessed by a middle class ranger and is thinking the yellow press is more important for him because he has a big trauma from his mother, who was dead by her vanity in a car accident where the press was following her because she loved to make publicity out of herself. That was her influence by a generation of freedoms where she had a lot of friends who were gay and convinced her that getting divorced and being her own and being free was better so she could enjoy her freedom. Most of the gay people hate marriage and family, and most of people were being disloyal at the same time. They were just being living their lives and keeping the core, keeping fake marriages as friends, just to keep the children, the looks to society, and the business of the family. The higher class wouldn't need to do dramas about it because it's not in them to do scandals. Diana came from a wealthy family who had no money, they were broke. Um, this has left a lot of uh, misunderstandings with Prince William, who believes to be so powerful with all the kingdom he has, of course. He's happy to die like this, behind a microphone, talking about Meghan Markle. And the kingdom itself isn't going to tell him anything. A normal person will think there is something wrong with you. Something is deeply wrong with you. The power your mother had by being dead is not what is going to happen to you. You don't have to control the media as your mother did. The media is about being creative. people started to hate the monarchy because people are full of hatred and people are frustrated. People just go work and watch TV and get magazines. And now they are in multimedia. So to grow up thinking that having love would not allow you to take care of your patrimony and have custody of your kingdom because you have to be cool-hearted. That's the only way you can administrate and be custodian of your kingdom, depending on what kingdom you're talking about, of course. When you used to be playful and just taking jokes, and you had a brother, and now you only have a wife, and the rest is a circus who promotes you and will say yes to everything that you want to do. And I am a nobody. I used to be a role player. I cannot share the joys of being a role player, of understanding people's love, what they love most. They love to be known as beautiful, they love to be known as all powerful, and they love to be known as impenetrable because nobody can manipulate them. So they're being manipulated at the same time while they're taking over the tech titans. And what you think is a lot of money is not. You have to think for the next 3,000 years with the structures of foundations of the world into space. So make sure, I mean, there are countries who have satellites on tops that belong to Elon Musk. By law, they could be destroyed if they want to manipulate your people, if you don't follow through. As having your own multimedia, and you can create your own multimedia internationally. You have the power now to do it. And TikTok can be done as it existed from nothing, it can re-exist from nothing. There was another platform before they copied it from. TikTok was not the invention. There was a platform that was only for teenagers. I forgot the name. And you can resume by hard work and becoming sole owners of your own. And from there, you can do the puzzling for a universal coin and a universal custody with the leaders of the world. But right now, because the administration of NATO thinks that United States is it will give them more money because they want money, and they might continue to invest in wars. So they will apply to the same conditions. It gives them more power with the money. They will allow Greenland to be taken over. So the kings of Denmark should know by now that only those military countries that are their allies that would like to invest in just going right now to protect Greenland. For the King of Spain, South America is a very powerful container of the language Spanish and our culture in heart and spirit, not economically or in relation. So he better does the script of the movie Frozen with kings of the colony as well in real life, with the Pope himself if he wants to be outgoing. But he likes to sell market to everyone, so he will talk for peace and say, "Okay, Trump, I will tell my people to open the gates of St. Paul if necessarily, because you said so, even though I've spoken for peace." And for people to own their own country. But of course, you're paying for Corina Machado to come here and see me. Yeah, of course, I will see her. So you want to be friends of everyone, but at the same time, you are shaking the hands of the devil who rapes children, is against true love with women, will marry a prostitute. I mean, she's beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. I sometimes think, would I marry somebody like that? Would I like to be somebody like that? It's like, it's nice for the people. The people like to see beautiful things. 80% enters through the visual arts on the first stage. But if you don't have a sense of smell, if you don't have a sense of money, if you don't have a sense of relationship of how things go in the world, you will find yourself caught and limited with somebody that is evil in the most stupid sense to destroy. Because who wants to be owned by stupid people that only want stupid people to follow and are not creative enough to be their own? Manifestations should be illegal because it's not going to help. Your inner creativity, your work, and your relations through multimedia is the only thing that works. And you will see in the map countries that are developed because they are allowing their people to be creative. And if you want to do something, go to the hall in the office to talk about it and create your form of defense to relate through these understandings so no one takes over what is yours. And that is a sense, having sense of property. Because having a custody in a period of stagnation, there's no life. I am myself being corrupted. I'm not being paid. I'm not paying tribute to the world's virtual reality with the power of imagination can roll. Elon Musk hates women, men, and he just wants to be the owner of his future, to be known as if he was the messiah, a genius. And all he does, he just copies from people and generates it as its own. This is why I made that storyline where he's not really with a miraculous path. He's like a lost soul. There, I could not make the character come out of the water as if he's prophetic. That's gonna be untouchable. I saw a man that loves to lie and thinks that compartmentalizing, as everyone is doing, because you don't understand what's having universal consciousness and being straightforward with those who are straightforward for what they take care of. If you don't have sense of property of your own, Prince William will be very happy posting about Meghan Markle until he dies and that his people loves him. and they just follow the money. He doesn't care about his relations, the power he has with international banks. He doesn't care. He cannot think well with the person that has next to him. If I put you next to somebody like that, you will end up in the same way, thinking that's the way to earn recognition because of a deep trauma that's been fed, as if you have control over people. And most of the people in the world don't read news about Meghan Markle. Don't even see you on the internet. You're nobody in internet. You might have a few thousand followers, but people stop believing in you because your work it does not come from you. It comes from other people. You have not invested your soul and heart in Earthshot. You just go there, appear, shake hands, make pictures. So it's a very poor job you're doing. If you really get to think about it and see it, is being neglected and abandoned because of looks. You think you're going to conquer the world by looks with the Middleton. Why don't you change your name as Middleton? And just finish the story, man, because I don't have to be here. I am not going to win anything. You're not going to win anything by me being in here anymore. You're not going to follow through because you think that following the money is all you got. You're not going to have the balls to make your own internet because you have Google here, you have all these tech titans here in London with these huge facilities, huge buildings that take like 5 blocks in the middle of London in King Cross. And you already made all your relations with the tech titans. It doesn't mean that you're making justice in the world. It's too much work, right? It's better just to sit down there and gossip like a castrated man about a woman. That's what white women do, middle class women wanna be. It is a disgrace to see there is nothing regal and generous to the kingdom as it used to be with the Queen Elizabeth. No matter how much hatred you can have to the people, at least she had also had love. Gonna control people knowing they're all pedophiles. Oh, then I will lose all my relations. We'll put new ones, put their children. How you expect the world to respect you? You really want the people to buy these stories because of money? Money is supposed to be about creativity. It's like having a thief being a manager. I have a thief as a manager in the store, and the huge organization is taking like I don't know, like 9 months to just come down with the numbers. So it doesn't matter it's little, but you have this problem everywhere. So the money doesn't get to the people, and the government keep being fixated with problems. They don't see the original problem, which is you. Ministers of children and family taking children away from families living in misery, people living in misery around the world. It's never going to happen with these people in charge, as Donald Trump. and those who feel that you can gaslight everyone and make people believe with this circus. Why are you hiding? If you're hiding something, you're supporting it. This is a form of consciousness that exists in all these supposed to be evolved countries. So America is a sick country where women are putting more silicone in the ass, then they're cutting it. Depending on the fashion, put balls, take balls out. They're sick. They are. The best thing you can do is to create your own platforms. You have gunshots, all these shit shows, uh, the perversion with the children. Like, where do you want to be allied with United States of America? It doesn't matter what party it is. It's sick. It's a mental disability place that is just run to follow money. And if they want slaves to pay them for artificial intelligence is going to be disconnected one day. It's being prognostic to be disconnected because human consciousness is not at its very top to nourish an artificial intelligence. So Elon Musk is putting his artificial intelligence for the Ministry of War. And get ready because you're going to be attacked, right? They're going to regenerate your information to manipulate you as if you are part of them, but you're not gaining anything. So they keep the only cake and you have no peace. You have a fictional building in your country with nothing for you at all. Just a few employees that might be British. I'm talking about a percentage for now into the future that is to be cut as a cake for all the layers. So have compassion over yourselves, as I have for me, for being here with you. Have compassion for you to be with me, having to listen to this. Would I have wished to say this 5 years ago? No. Would I have to say that I want to be here? No. 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 So you have different types of maps within maps. You have a base map that shows the intensity of the data. A chronoflex map shows natural futures. I guess it's throughout time because chrono, no, it's choreoflex. So choreoflex comes from the muse of dance, that's choreography. And so it shows the natural futures. Heat map shows intensity data. Physical map shows natural futures again. I need more time to study this. Topographic map shows the terrain. So when you make the technological map, you won't need to make walls. If you are taking care, you won't need to build wires to divide your what is your territory, your terrain. You will need a topograph to measure the land. You will be able to just have it technologically speaking so the animals can, their nature is in touch and virgin there. And you, as the other person next to you, knows where it is, the boundaries and the horizon that composes you as the others. Web map, digital interactive map, road map, transit map, focus, well, of the roads, and also the population and specific themes that focuses. We're making a map for the industries as well and the entities. Okay. I will also see to the populations in the world, the societies that are more castrated, without counting the Vatican, of course, because it's holy. But they will shake hands with everyone, right? So, what is the purpose of talking about peace? You like to read scriptures. You like to have money to go into the unknown. But you need to be in touch with your balls to have courage and feel from the earth was having a connection, a real connection with another person, another entity, as your words. What connection you have if one day you say peace and the other day you are giving power to wars? Since when a country has candidates that are being supported by another country? Is that legal, Mr. Trump? Why don't you go and live in Russia and just get a state? That's the maximum power you can have by the money you have from Russia. So this is what you have today, the ugly truth, not the good or the bad. This is your destiny. So don't waste your saliva. Don't waste trips going to South America. Look at all the oceans, how much rubbish you have. You're gonna put more gasoline and fuel in the oceans by transporting meat to Europe. You already have farmers that are happy here. Now you see all this is against your own people. What you're doing to your people is happening to you as well. So they're gonna take your Greenland because you really believe in what you say, don't you? They will take again. They will take your Vatican as well because where do you think they have a relationship with you? Because they're spiritual? Because they really believe in you? Or they want to destroy the world? So they fear follows them. So you think it's better so people return to church if they live in fear and misery? Or would they change religion? Think, think very well. Why people left the church? Because they were living with families that were so restricted. And 80% had abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse. And you are here only to follow. So you follow the words. But what is God then? What God are you following? Are you following the devil? Because devil is part of God and then all comes back to God? Because everyone is a child of God and everyone is forgiven at the end. It's the works of God. What is God for you? Because you're an eye with your cardinals. Yeah. You have no pain of your own. You just have pain for humanity. As Jesus did. Jesus didn't die because of other people's sin. He wanted to be remembered. He was stubborn, as most of his apostles. He did not wish to live under any regime or Jew. So you shaking your hand with the Jews, and now you understand the devil thanks to the Jews. You have manipulated through thousands of people, millions and millions and millions and millions and billions of people to believe in your stories, knowing very well that was not what Jesus loved to be. You will continue to hide women so they serve you. You will want women to tell you the truth. You think they're priestess. You believe that oppressing people will make them better, to give you something you look for. Because people will grow out through a challenge. You want challenged people that just pray for an outsider force. Have no creativity, you in a world where the word is powerless, no matter to what technological realm you're connected with. As long as you don't become creative, you don't never know. You are as all those people saying what people want to have followers because they have their followers and they love their scandals. The devil is ruling the world already. And the white people are shouting for supremacy, even though they talk in the name of the good. It's starting to come out. What you're listening is being suppressed within them, in their own beliefs. It's starting to come out from the hells. You need to see the hells being liberated and the devil himself. So you see what are you doing with your life, with the custody of your own life, with what you think to belong, what you're paid to, because the Bible will stay as the Bible is for how long? So Christians and Catholics of all sorts believe in the apocalypse, to live in it constantly, because they have not been able to create a new testament. They are not witness. They're following the pattern. And the pattern itself says in the last page that nothing else can be done or remake. But it does not say that you can create your New Testament and your own according to the times that you are at. So if you want to have pedophilic people in your platforms who will eventually take over to change the laws so it's legal, it doesn't matter if you hide it. Jordan Peterson is now sick, and people get tired and sick, and we die. And new people will be there who are more afraid. They have grown up from TikTok dancing with short term memory, locked down. And we're the last people on this earth who has known freedom. I'm sad to say I don't remember what is dancing anymore. I do not remember myself what is to love. I know the truth. I know what people do. It doesn't mean love is there in the same level. That you need to love doesn't mean that love is there. The people want to feel things are right doesn't mean it's there. And this is what makes everyone corrupted, because they lost hope. It doesn't matter if you have managers all around your kingdom who are thieves. They're all thieves. Your very wife is stealing your shine, your talent, and will send the future king to a middle class school as well as has put you down, and your brother. He will wear dresses without a jacket in winter so she can show her body after the queen died, because she will think it's about her sex appeal. The same way, she has not worked to liberate you, brothers, to have more power over themselves for your kingdom. You don't have the responsibility because you don't have custody over yourself. You are believed to have with someone that can only copy because you think that is what it sells. But at the end of the day, tell me, what money is that you were promised from Mr. Trump and the people that he has behind with the tech titans as Bill Gates? You have prepared yourself to put yourself ahead, and I am aware of that too. This is why I have put myself ahead as well. Because this is a mission where I have shouted that it doesn't matter if people don't follow, they will need somebody very strong to follow through towards what it is the best and only solution. Not because you're nice, but because you're not stupid. And if you're stupid, or you have no defense, or you don't have the right environment, you're going to have violate. You're going to be raped. Everything is going to be taken out from you. All right. and there is only a dystopian world and antisocial people who love to watch zombies because they're already living like that. I have people that, you know, like they just got rich in this generation and I had to take care of their children. And it doesn't matter if it's a scientist or an opera singer, it doesn't matter who they are. They were all newly rich. And they say the things that have nothing to do with the reality because they're always comparing themselves. They don't understand a richness that is infinite. So, well, you tell me who you are. What is your custody? Meghan Markle? Bye.